Let's do our last question. Question 4. You take a 25-year, $100,000 mortgage with the rate of J2 equals 7%. Find our monthly payment, and we're going to round that up to the nearest dollar, and that's up. So let's go through and fill out our table. We are making monthly payments, but we're compounding semi-annually, and our interest rate is 7%. Our amortization is 25 years, even though this is probably going to be a 5-year term. So 25 times 12 is going to be 300 payments. Our present value is $100,000, and our future value is 0. Again, always an ordinary annuity. Find the size of our monthly payment. Our PY and CY, I've got those in correctly from before. And my N is going to be 300, and our interest rate is 7. Present value, we borrowed $100,000, and our future value is 0. So let's compute the payment, and I get a payment of negative $700.415. Remember, we're rounding up to the nearest dollar. So that means I'm going to make a payment of $701. Let's re-enter that. So 701, make sure it's negative, press payment, and now we're going to recompute N. We always do that to make sure it's just under 300. That's what we would like. Let's do one final payment problem. This is easiest, again, when we use the amortization table. So I'm going to look at the 300th month. So second amortization, 1, let's make that 300. And let's see what that is. Well, it's a big balance, but it's a balance of negative $465.86. That's how much I overpaid by. Let's add that to our payment. Plus 701 gives me $235.14. I'm going to take a break here, and we're going to calculate the interest that we've paid over the lifetime of this mortgage. That's going to be, the money we paid is 299 payments of $701 plus one payment of $235.14, and we borrowed $100,000. So 299 times 701 plus 235.14, and let's subtract $100,000. So we've paid $109,834.14. Because we didn't have any rate changes and we have the entire thing stuck in our calculator, if we look at our entire mortgage, we should be able to see this. And indeed, if you look at interest, you can see the exact amount that we paid over the entire mortgage. That only really happens when we don't re-enter anything at all. How long would it take to pay off your mortgage using bi-weekly payments of half the monthly payments instead of monthly payments? This has a name. It's called bi-weekly accelerated. We pay every 2 weeks. That is, we make payments 26 times per year, but instead of using the payment that would come out of that, we instead use half of our monthly payment. So we're making payments as if we were making 24 of those. Our payment here is going to be $350.50. So we're making half the payment, half size payments, but we're making them a little bit more often. That's one extra full monthly payment per year. The advantage of this is if you're paid bi-weekly, like I am, it's easy to budget this way. All of your bills, you do everything on a 2-week basis. What was our interest rate? It stays the same at 7%, and our N is what we're going to compute. In this case, what I'm changing, let's clear out, is PYCY are now going to be 26 and 2. That's biweekly. My N is going to be different, but my IY stays the same. My payments are smaller. And everything else stays the same, though I encourage you to use recall and then check to see that everything is the way you want it to be. When I compute N, I get a very big N. $533 and a bit, and those are called fortnights. That's the word, but that's like a biweekly pay period. If you're paid every other Friday, then you could make a mortgage payment every other Friday. To find out how many years this is, we just divide it by 26, and that's around 20.5 years. So we've saved 4.5 years. Let's look at that last payment. Well, now 533.04 means I'm going to set P2 to be 534. Rounding that up, I'm going to go into the amortization and change this now to 534. Enter. Looks like my balance is showing negative $335.31. And that means I overpaid. I paid $350.50. So let's add that. I should have paid $15.19. That's how much we should have paid. So let's look at our interest now. The interest is going to be money paid minus money borrowed. Just like before, we're going to calculate the numbers. So we made 533 payments of $350.50. Plus we made one baby payment of $15.19, and we borrowed $100,000. Putting that in, let's try that. 533 times 350.5 equals a big number, plus $15.19, subtracting $100,000 that we borrowed, we end up with $86,831.69 in interest, which is different than before. Let's just note, when I go back into the amortization, 1,534, principal, interest, I have the exact same numbers showing on interest. And again, this really only works when we don't make any changes, but it is useful. Well, how much money did we save is the difference between those two things. So let's just see how much it was before, 109,834.14. Minus 86,831.69, using your helpful calculator or doing it in your head, or what I do, which is do it properly in a calculator and write it down so that I can do it faster for you guys. This is $23,000. I'm just going to say that that's the monthly payments, and that's biweekly accelerated. So we saved $23,000 and 4.5 years by switching to biweekly accelerated payments.